Hey everybody, Brian Von VA back at it again. Today, we're going to be talking about some builds that are too simple or boring, but they hit like a truck all day long. Oh yeah, it's time to be OP, but also have no flavor to it. Turtle Barb 1, Monk 5, Kensai, Barb 2, Beast. I only played it to level 8, so I can't speak to how to proceed past that. Turtles get a strength unarmed strike. The claws you pop as a beast barb lets you make an extra attack on top of extra attack when you attack with those claws. The claws count as a single weapon, so they can be a monk Kensai weapon, which gives you a +2 to AC on top of your turtle AC of 17 when you make an unarmed strike while holding your Kensai weapon. Round 1. Rage! Beast Claw attack, extra Beast Claw attack, not extra attack. Unarmed strike, Turtle Claw attack. This is the actual extra attack. 3 1d6 plus strength plus rage attacks. Subsequent rounds. Beast Claw attack, Beast Claw extra attack, Beast Claw attack. Bonus action, Turtle Claw attack, Monk Martial Arts, or burn a key point for Flurry of Blows to make 2 Turtle Claw attacks as a bonus action. That's 4 d6 plus strength plus rage attack for no resource cost, or 5 for just 1 key point. Sustainable damage round over round with few or no resource costs. And Beast Barb Monk gives you incredible movement in 3 dimensions. Archer on a tower, you've got a base movement of 40, and you can climb. You're good at getting to enemies and killing them once you're there. That actually sounds fun, and it is. But it only does one thing, and it does it really well. There are definitely higher damage builds, but for simplicity's sake and minimal resource costs, it's tough to beat. And a Raging Turtle Monk, you're playing Slash from Ninja Turtles, basically. Eldritch Blaster Warlock with Polearm Master and Sentinel feats plus Repelling Blast. Opportunity attack to stop them when they're getting within 10 feet. Send them back 10 feet with Eldritch Blast, stop them again the next turn when they close within 10 feet. It's a really annoying combo for more than one character to use at the same time. It's a ranged build that lets you keep enemies at range. So, what's the point of sending them back 10 feet when you've already reduced their speed to 0 10 feet away from you? Every turn, if they want to attack you again, they have to re-enter your range and re-trigger the opportunity attack, which, again, reduces their speed to 0 for the next turn if it hits. It's like a free disengage, because rather than you moving, they're just being pushed. Bear Totem Barbarian was pretty boring. Gloomstalker Battlemaster CBE SS does have a resource, but that doesn't make it any less boring. Samurai Fighter, either Sharpshooter or Great Weapons Master, or Samurai Fighter Sharpshooter and Elven Accuracy. Champion Fighter with Polearm Master and Great Weapon Master is probably the easiest playthrough. Just go half-orc for extra crit damage, or add Barbarian like Champion 3 Barbarian X, later on getting brutal criticals from Barbarian being a half-orc. Grab a pike, pick up Piercer and Great Weapon Master. Enjoy rolling all those d10s when you crit. Vengeance Hexadon. Tanky as hell, hits like a truck, has some utility, but it all amounts to being better at getting into people's faces to smack them. Personally, I hate it. It's too easy and not that fun, but I can't deny its efficiency. Custom Lineage Elf or Half-Elf Hexblade Warlock 2, Agonizing Blast, Devil's Sight, Divine Soul Sorcerer X. Cantrips and spells are Eldritch Blast, Darkness, Absorb Elements, Shield, Silvery Barbs. Feats: Elven Accuracy, +1 to Charisma, level 1 if CL and DM allows it, but level 4 for Half-Elf. Metamagics, Quickened and Twinned. Sword and Board Battlemaster. Battlemaster is one of the most strategic and varied fighter classes on the battlefield, but don't see so huge DPS from Sword and Board. But I guess dueling fighting style and triple and quadruple attack at higher levels will add up in the end. I did a Shield Master build, ended up using a magic spear more than anything. But yes, multi-attack and damage boosting maneuvers make it hit like a truck. Anything with conjure animals. And this is the most fun optimized DPR to me. Giant goats, owls, constrictor snake, wolves, bears. Oh my, all kinds of different ways to fit different fights. Then I go Warlock and it's EB times 5, Eldritch Blast. But like you roll initiative and cast one spell every time. Aha, a spell with different animals most of the time, then I'm back slinging arrows and casting new spells every turn. And then controlling the creature on their turn. It's more varied than most high DPR builds, though Shepherd Druid may be slightly different, I suppose. Jian Alter in FG. Wait, that was a wrong sub. Giant Barb is very, very damage focused. Same with Evocation Wizard X, just in this spellcasting oriented area, as much as you can still grab a bunch of utility spells. The various revised versions of Champion Fighter also tend to be more or less straightforward. You get either damage or the means to deal more damage through mobility, for instance. Sword and Board Rune Knight Fighter with Shield Master. You have your restraining attack, your shield bash prone attack, your AC is so high that most things struggle to hit you, and even if they do, you're so naturally resilient it seldom matters. And your damage output and Nova potential can punch well above your weight class, which is pretty heavy because you can go Giant, which gives you a flat damage boost when you do. Great Weapons Master, or GWM for anyone who does not know the acronyms, Barbarian should be what you're looking for. Basic, high DPS, not particularly complex ability choices and straightforward combat style, where there are a few Barbarian subclasses even who add particularly complex abilities and no exhaustible spell slots for other expendable resources like superiority dice or inspirations, apart from all the rages, which you get unlimited supply of at 20th level. Just avoid Berserker, which can use up exhaustion levels. A Swashbuckler Rogue could be an alternative. It has high DPS, abilities that get you sneak attack more often, and you don't need to worry about attacks of opportunity. You can even take a race granting you Booming Blade cantrip for extra DPS. And of course, no exhaustible resources at all. No, maybe not. This one is too fun for this, and not compatible with Great Weapons Master, as you need finesse weapons for sneak attack and heavy weapons for GWM. However, running around on the battlefield while swinging freely at everyone without a care in the world about AAO, also known as Attacks of Opportunity, thanks to a passive ability that also simplifies life. Can give you 3 recommendations with different complexity though. Mountain Dwarf Barbarian Battle Rager. High strength, go for GWM feat, rage, and hit hard with a great axe. Use your bonus actions for +1 D4 plus strength plus rage, piercing extra attacks with spiky armor for that extra DPS when available. Simple-minded and straightforward strategy. Single class build, first feat is GWM, then ASI to max strength and con, and maybe piercer for extra DPS. Half-Elf Wild Magic Barbarian, 5+. Hexblade Warlock, 3. Fighter 1, get, once again, Great Weapons Master. Elven Precision Eldritch Blast with 2 Blast Invocations, and the cherry on top is Branding Smite Spell, where you can replenish your own spell slots for more smiting in the wild magic at higher levels, and where you compensate for the -5 for +10 damage with Elven Precision half feat for triple advantage. Have a magical summonable 2-handed sword, and a fighter dip at higher levels for a bit of extra DPS through great weapon fighting style. You can use Eldritch Blast for range attacks, which scales with character level. When you get in close, smite away with any spell slots you have, and then go into a rage. Focus on maxing charisma first, but get a pair of Gloves of Ogre Power or a Belt of Giant Strength if you can to get good use of the rage damage bonus. Now, you can start as a Barbarian 1 with Fleet of Foot, Wood Elf Heritage for 35 move, and Hexblade to make use of Half-Elf Charisma, to level 3 for Blade Lock Invocations and Branding Smite. You can even use GFB or BB cantrips for when you're not raging, just for a little extra DPS until you get double attack. Then pump Barbarian until you got both feats, and a 1-level dip into Fighter for a fighting style after that. then continue up to 16 Barbarian levels for ASI. Next up is a High Elf Barbarian Zealot or Zealot, which is 5 levels plus. Rogue Swashbuckler, 3 levels plus. Fighter 1 plus minus get Great Weapons Master. Basically, Great Weapons Master is important for most of your builds with these. Elven Precision and Revenant Blade feats to be able to attack with double scimitar and sneak attack with a two-handed weapon, doing 2d4 damage, where you can also use it for bonus attacks, getting 3 attacks per turn with double attack, or 2, where you can do a booming blade with an action and an extra attack with the double scimitar, doing extra damage with a dip in fighter for great weapon fighting style. This makes it a bit more complex with 2 levels and an action surge for a 1-day bonus action booming blade when you are not raging, and get 1 attack per round with massive zealot plus 1d8 and rogue sneak attack damage, where having an extra bonus attack is good in case you miss with your main attack, to make sure you cash in on this damage. Last but not least, start as a barbarian. Focus on Dex and Con for unarmored AC. Then you'll be taking 4 levels in Rogue and invest first in Revenant Blade. Start using a rapier or other finessable weapon where you can hit and run with Booming Blade already when you get to Rogue levels using bonus action for Cunning Action. And do it freely, with bonus action for Dash Cunning Action, with 3 Rogue levels and increased sneak attack. The 4th for the Revenant Blade feat, where your DPS goes up greatly, as also Booming Blade increase in damage as you hit 5th character level, despite not getting double attack until later. Then it can be good to go for Barbarian 5, where you get Zealot survivability and more DPS at 7th. Great Weapon Master feat again at level 8th, which is a massive DPS boost, and double attack at 9th, with either a Rogue level for sneak attack or a Fighter 1 dip for fighting style at a 10th level for more DPS, and Rogue levels at 12 and 13 for even more sneak attack damage and evasion. Now this is a hard one because most builds that can hit like a truck aren't really simple. Simple builds would probably be a variant human champion going with the archery style, crossbow expert, and sharpshooter. The melee version is good too with Polearm Master, Great Weapon Master, and Sentinel, but it isn't gonna hit as well, so CBE is better than PAM. The other simple and boring builds are Halfling Thief and Half-Orc Bear Barbarians, but they won't really hit as hard. The Elf Samurai Archer starts to get a little more complicated, but it's a very solid build. Take your favorite elf, samurai, archery style, longbow, and elven accuracy. A fairly simple but not boring build is a Rogue Barbarian though. These are based on going Strogue, but using a finesse weapon, scimitar, short sword, or rapier. I like Deep Gnome Zealot to hit harder, or Bear Totem to get hit harder, 5 Phantom Rogue X. Deep Gnome gives advantage to stealth, which will cancel the disadvantage that Half Plate carries, so you can armor up and two-hand fight with short swords or rapier and board. Reckless Attacking will give advantage for sneak attacks, which can wail from the grave. Another option is going Beast Barbarian 5 and Soul Knife. This is a blender of a build. If starting at level 1, take a race with claws like Tabaxi. The idea is Reckless Attack Claw, Special Attack Claw, Extra Attack Psychic Blade, and Sneak Attack, Bonus Action Attack Psychic Blade. For a not as simple but definitely boring build, go Hexblade Sorcerer. I'd probably go Mountain Dwarf for the medium armor proficiency, or Loxodon, Lizard Folk, Auto Gnome, or Turtle. Start Sorcerer for con saves, and go your favorite Sorcerer. Pick one with a cool feature, maybe like Draconic or Shadow, because you're not here for spellcasting, but meta magic. After level 3, go Hexblade and probably get Pact of the Chain to get a Quaist or an Imp. Hexblade will get you a shield proficiency and a crit range from Hexblade's Curse. Take Invocations for Eldritch Blast and get the Gunner feat to use EB's Eldritch Blast in melee range. Convert your spell slots to sorcery points and quicken your Eldritch Blasts. Lastly, a fairly simple build that's fun, Fairy Rune Knight. Take Athletics and probably Skill Expert. Enlarge, Grapple, Fly, Drop, you know, the standard stuff. Or an alternate grappling build, Duragar, Path of the Giant Barbarian. Enlarge, Grapple, Drag through an ally's Spike Growth, Cloud of Daggers, Moonbeam, etc. or just grapple and throw your opponents. Here's another edit, by the way. Thought of one that is fairly simple and hits like a freight train. Wood Elf for Fleet of Foot. Paladin 1 for heavy armor proficiency. You can still dump strength because Wood Elf in heavy armor equals dwarf speeds. Put your points in Charisma, Con, and Dex. Level 2, go Hexblade 1 for Charisma to attack and damage, increase crit range, shield spell, Armor of Agathis, but you probably won't be spellcasting. Then go to Vengeance Paladin at Paladin 3. Elven Accuracy at Paladin 4. After Paladin 6, go back to Hexblade. Use Vow of Enmity to get advantage for crit fishing. And at this point, use every spell slot you have for smites, unless you're trying to upcast Armor of Agathis and Shadow of Moyle, but it's not as simple now. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA checking in after the vid. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and let us know down in the comments below some builds that are too simple and boring, but hit like a truck, baby. We love you all, be safe and be happy. See you next time.